My name is Florian Walchak. I live in Bayfield, Colorado, and I served in the military from 1970 to 1974. This was the Vietnam era. I was not drafted, but at that time they had what they call the lottery, which made you subject to the draft depending on what number that you were assigned in this lottery. Being a little bit proactive, I enlisted in the Air Force. So my time during the Vietnam era was in the Air Force. I did not see combat. I did not go to Vietnam. In fact, I actually had a pretty good tour of duty after basic training, which was at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas, and a little bit of additional training at Goodfellow Air Force Base. I became a linguist in the Air Force, and I was an Arabic translator. So I went to something called the Defense Language Institute for a year to learn Arabic. And after that assignment, I went to the island of Greece, or the country of Greece, the island of Crete, where the Air Force, in conjunction with the National Security Agency, had a listening station. So my assignment was in Greece, in Crete, listening to radio communications from various Arab countries. I was assigned to an Air Force command called the Security Service. At that time, it's called something different now. But then it was the Security Service Command. And its mission was to intercept radio transmissions of all different frequencies. I can't really go into too much detail even now. I mean, it's 50 years later about the details of what I did and what I heard, but it was an interesting experience. I was almost 3 years on the island of Crete. It was, as a young man, I was 21 years old, had never really been west of the Delaware River, grew up in New Jersey. So it was quite an enlightening experience to be a young man in Europe for 3 years. When we went to Greece and Crete, we did not have to live on the air base, so I actually lived in a small fishing village called Hersonnesus. I rented a house with a friend, and we lived on the beach, on the Mediterranean beach in Crete for, like I said, almost 3 years. And it turned out to be a wonderful experience being in the military, and I avoided the tragedy and the pain and the dilemmas of Vietnam, which was fortunate, but I understand that my experience was not the typical, perhaps, experience of the commoner, the general Vietnam era veteran, because of the specialized work that I did for the Air Force. Of now 50 years of 45 years of hindsight, that the military and being in the military is one of the great levelers, democratizing of the society, because you're thrown in with people from all over the country, all socioeconomic classes, all races, all creeds, and in basic training, you're basically forced to live with each other and get along with each other. And the drill instructors there actually give you some guidance and some teaching on just how to do that in a stern, gruff, drill instructor way. But again, I thought it was very, enlightening and for me broadening.